Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please, if you have joined us this evening, please do like, do share, do comment, and let us know as to where you're watching us from, and interact with us this evening as we are going to talk brand strategy. So please interact with us. We are live, we are live, we are live, we are live, and we will definitely would love to, interact with you and hear your thoughts as we communicate. Hear as to what you think and all things like that. I hope everybody is well. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I see you guys coming in. I see most of you guys are joining us this evening. So please come through and let's interact. Let's talk. It's that time again. I see you. Janali Pilong is here with us. Yes, tonight it will be an awesome one. Let's talk. Let's talk as to how can we grow our businesses and how can we take our businesses to the next level, and stuff like that. And once again, my name is Juliana, and this is Jomon Empire. We provide IT and branding solutions. So if you really need solutions, you are in the right place. If you wanna learn much more about what we do and who we are, you are in the right place, and we've got all that just for you this evening to make sure that your company, your brand, or your business is able to grow, and that you can do much more and much better. So, like I said in the beginning, please share, please comment, and let us know your thoughts. So this evening, I'm not alone. I am with a brother of mine who is a brand analyst, who is going to join us, this evening as we chat. But just before that, previously we have spoken about a few things that are related to brand, right? To branding and your brand as a person. And then we've touched bit by bit of many things, and I hope that was able to help a few of us. And I'm also hoping that tonight this will join to that to really help you, because here is the most important thing. As a brand or as a company, you need brand strategy, and you need something. You need a plan, a long-term plan that is able to take your company or your brand to the next level. So please, let's welcome my brother who's here, Israel, and we're going to get to chat. Welcome, Israel. We are live. Please greet the people and introduce yourself this evening.
Good evening, Jukes. Good evening to also your viewers. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for giving me this platform. Like I mentioned to you that I'm no expert. This is my first year actually in the industry. But with the passion that I have for branding and strategy, I believe that in 5 to 6 months' time, when you speak to me, I would have gained, a bit of experience, to share more than what I will share today. But I'm really positive and grateful for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
By the way, my name is Israel. I am actually a brand analyst at Idea Hive Brand Storytellers. That's actually what I do, and I love doing that. Thank you so much.
Awesome, fantastic. That's great, man. And I've seen people are commenting and sharing as to what they would like to know. But let's dive right into it this evening. when we speak brand strategy, when we say brand strategy, people have just been hearing us saying that. From your experience, from what you know, what is brand strategy?
For me, I would firstly say that brand strategy is actually a broad topic, but the overall, my overall understanding to it, it's basically how you are able to provide solutions, either for your businesses or for other businesses, if you are a consultant or whatsoever. But basically, brand strategy is how you are able to come up with a solution to a particular problem, or be it a brand problem, just whatever problem it is, it needs a particular plan, as you said, and brands, I think that brands have a specific way of going about it, other than just looking at it from just tackling a problem, it's more about solutions, people-centered solutions, if I can put it that way.
Definitely. And,
Yeah.
I've from my experience, what I've learned is that, like you said, brand strategy is a very broad title. Is something that is broad. It's something that is
Yes.
huge. It's something that we can really take time to speak really on it. But I've come up with there's a basic way, for us to understand it. So when we say brand strategy, then we're speaking about moving from point A to point B. Now,
Exactly. Yeah.
yes, so you need a plan. This is what's the in between, the middle part for you to move from point
Yes.
A to point B as a brand. So that is now, what is your strategy? How are you going to do it? How are you going to manage to move from this point to get to this point where you want your brand to be? And I believe and I know that, especially as well as your experience, Israel, that there are tools that, of course, sometimes you recommend, sometimes you use to take a brand from point A to point B. And I know that some of those tools will include social media, will include marketing,
Yes.
will include all those other stuff. But what would you say is the best tool that one can use to move their brand from point A to point B? Which is the best tool for people to use, and how can they work that out?
Um, I'm glad that we are in such an era where we are digitally connected, So for me, I would say that the best thing for people or businesses to do in order for them, because you always have, when I look at brand strategy, when I look at solving a problem in general, it's actually having a result before you can actually, you have a result in mind, that actually this is the problem that I'm solving. This is a problem that I'm facing currently. But in order to get there, I would need to do 1, 2, 3. And you already know the outcome of it. If whatever you have in mind is executed well, you already have an outcome that this is going to be my end, my results, basically.
Yeah.
So for me, in such an era, I would say that social media is a very important one, because if you look, for example, in this time we are in, I believe that most of the brands are actually having like budget constraints, right? Where above the line advertising, your television, billboards, those are very expensive ways of, going about trying to solve a problem right now because of what the entire world is facing. So I believe that social media will actually be a very constructive, very cheap, but yet effective, because it also depends on the audience, because I believe, I'm one person who believes that brands, whatever brand it is, we need to tap into the hearts of young people, and when I look at young people, I actually see people that are digitally connected. They are always on social media. They're always reading on social media, getting updates on social media. So if you are a brand and you are not on social media, then I don't know how you're doing your things. Basically have a, specific magic that you have to share with people. But I believe that social media is actually one of the most important tools for brands to be having at this time.
Yeah, no, true, great. I really, yeah, I agree with you on that point, and
Mm,
which again, social media then becomes a topic, a huge topic on its own, because there's a
yes.
right way and there's a wrong way to do it. Of which, like I said previously, that we'll tackle that topic on its own next time. But the bottom
Okay.
line, as I hear you saying that. Social media is one of the greatest tools that one can use, as their
Mm,
strategy to take their brand from point A to point B. So
absolutely.
yeah, I'll just get into the comments and what people are saying right here online, and they would like to hear. Here's one question that has come up: is that I would like to know as to what's the difference between brand strategy and your
Mm,
marketing strategy. So
okay.
that's one question that I'm picking up here on the comments. What's the difference between them? Because I've seen that people would have a marketing strategy, but now
Mm,
tonight we are speaking about a brand strategy.
okay.
What is the difference between the two? What separates the two?
So, for my understanding, is that a marketing strategy, you're trying to put a product across, right? You have a specific product that you say that I am selling one, two, three,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But in order for me to sell one, two, three, I have actually to reach these specific people who are in need of this product,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And your communication channels are going to be channeled to whatever you are selling
Yeah.
and whoever you are selling it to. So I'd say that a marketing strategy is actually focused on the product or the services that you are providing,
Oh, yes.
whereas a brand strategy, it's actually an overall to say that I am Jumon Empire. This is how I position myself. This is how we position a brand. In this case, you're positioning an entire brand, which can happen that it's got certain products under it.
Yes,
It
yes.
can happen that you're selling different things within that entire brand, which individually of the each of those products will have to have a marketing strategy on how you're putting them across, on how you're going to provide sell to different audience there. So I would simply say that the difference between the two, as I have explained, is that a marketing strategy, you are actually finding ways of how you can distribute your services or your products, how you can reach your audience. But a brand strategy is how you position yourself as a brand, above all that you can offer. What is it that you believe in? What are your values?
Yeah.
What do you want people to think when they see Jomon Empire written there? Already we've got certain associations in mind, And then when we now go to what you do, how do you position your graphic designing as Jomon Empire? How do you get your people to be interested in your graphic designing? That is now a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
According to, I stand corrected, of course, as I said, I'm not an expert, I'm just passionate about strategy, of which I'm finding a way through it.
Yeah, yeah. No, you have nailed it. Like you've nailed it. You've nailed it. You've nailed it. I know somebody can agree with me on the on the comments that you've really nailed it, because my understanding as well as you speaking as well is that when we speak brand strategy, it's bigger than marketing strategy. When you go as a brand,
Yes,
you are going to say it's something that is big and it's something that will last you long term. And then when you speak of
exactly.
marketing strategy, it is just for you to say, okay, this is how am I getting you, with my product, you to get my product. But when
Exactly.
we say a
Yeah.
brand, we say that this is who we are, and then this is the
Yeah. True.
experience you're going to get. This is how we do things and how it works. So
Exactly.
it is a huge, huge, huge thing that
Mm.
as a business, you must be focused on growing your brand and have a long term plan, because many of us,
Yes.
we have a short-term plan. You
Mm,
just think as to how can I sell 5 bricks and then get this money and then
exactly.
that's it. You don't think
That's it.
as to what am
Uh-huh.
I going to do 5 years to come? What will
Mm,
happen? And then I think that is, maybe you'll agree with me as well on this, that that's the challenge you see. Most people keep rebranding because of they didn't
yeah,
position their brand correctly. And then
exactly.
they end up finding themselves have to rebrand because of
True.
from the beginning they didn't set themselves up correctly. So
Exactly.
if really you are listening and you're with us, I believe that is something really that could help you.
Mm,
Israel, before we get to some, I see some more questions that are coming through on the comments.
okay.
Maybe you can tell us this. Brand analyst. Some people, they say, okay, you're a brand analyst. What do you do? What's your task? If I say,
Yeah.
okay, if I say I'm gonna need a brand analyst, what are you gonna do? And then what would be the process? Maybe if you can share that with people as well, so that we can understand. Because sometimes people they don't understand. They say, okay, brand
Yes.
analyst, we don't really understand what you do, therefore we are
Okay.
not interested, or whatever
Yes.
the case. So
Yes.
maybe let us know as a brand analyst, what is it that you basically do?
So you're basically analyzing brands. Okay. So um so I work in an advertising industry, right? So basically how I see myself in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years to come, I always say that I desire to, create brands, that human brands, if I can put it that way. That's what I stand for, to see brands becoming more human, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is actually um, me taking up on a position of being a strategist, but with a human element to it, right? But then as a brand analyst, what I do is that I look at the different brands that we get to work on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Different brands that we get to create strategies for. So before we actually get to the strategizing process, the process of coming up with a constructive strategy that's going to solve a problem, we need to know that, for example, this is an example, if we are working with Jomon Empire, who is Jomon Empire? We analyze, this is what they do. This is these are their competitors. We get to look at um, other IT and graphic designing companies that are similar to your brand to say, this is what they are doing different, and how can we make sure that Jomon Empire stands out from just looking as just another IT company,
Yeah.
what is it that makes you different, you know? And then from that understanding, we are able to create a strategy that better positions your brand. So basically, in a nutshell, what I do as a brand analyst, I look at the brands that we work for, understand them, that we work with, understand them, what is it that they stand for, what is their product, how different is their product from their competitors' products, So it's basically analyzing brands, looking at that criteria that I just mentioned, but also looking at the market in which, for example, we work with brands that are also in the fast food industry.
Yeah.
So what we do is we look at the current trends. What is it that's currently trending in the fast food industry?
Yeah.
And we look at are some of those trends going to matter in the next 2 to 3 months, that we can actually build a strategy based on that, So it's basically, I would say that it's what you do before coming up with a strategy. It's
Okay.
understanding a brand before coming up with a strategy that's going to help that particular brand.
Fantastic. I mean, that is it's actually a mouthful. I see a question here, and it's something really that probably people, yes, would like to really know that. Okay, fine. I hear what you guys are saying, but now, what do I do from here? Do I need a brand strategist, or can I do it for myself? It's one of the questions that is there. Which way would you advise for someone? Should they go get a brand strategist, or should they really do it for themselves? To put a strategy. Which one, would you recommend, or would you be your thoughts
Mm.
as well?
I would say that you can do it yourself if you are in a position to,
Yeah.
but I would actually recommend specialists in that particular field because they've got, I mean, someone who has been doing brand analyzing or brand strategy, for quite some time. They understand the different elements that have to go into it. Things that you might miss because what you are avoiding as you are building a brand, what you want to avoid, it's actually creating a strategy that's actually going to come back to hunt you down in the next 2 months, 3 months. Like you said that, as you said in the beginning, that people are just focused on, okay, this is what I do, but this is how I can just push this product. They're not actually looking at positioning themselves properly as a brand before you are selling something. You need to be a brand before you just sell us something.
Exactly.
So I would say that if you are in a position to do it yourself, knock yourself out. But I would recommend having someone who specializes in this, because the benefits of that is that they are able to study your brand with a different perspective from just what you are looking at.
Exactly.
You have a maybe just a narrow way of looking at your brand because you want it to succeed. Of course, they also want your brand to succeed, but they'll be able to tackle the brand in a how can I explain this? They'll be able to look at the holistic part of your brand,
Yes,
not
yes,
just
yes.
at the at what you may be looking at. We all want to make it, so people might say, you know what? In order for me to have 5 million, I need to sell this much, this much, this much. But after you have that 5 million, are you going to stand for something? Is your brand going to be remembered? Is your brand going to, we need to create a name that sticks. And in order for us to create a name that sticks, I believe that we have to approach brand strategy in its holistic manner, not just from a perspective of, I just want to make 5 million. This is 1, 2,
Yeah. No, it's really I'm actually enjoying at this as you're explaining, and I believe this is something that is really, really, really very much important, and it's very much key. And I believe it's very it's very wise for us to have part two of this session, and then talk more about other stuff because
Yeah.
I see we're already out of time. But I believe that out of what we've shared, out of every single thing that you've enlightened us on tonight, that somebody has learned something and they are able to get something that they can use in their own brands, in their own businesses, or something to think about. So,
Yeah.
Israel, thank you so much, my brother. Like I said, we will have to, get a second part two of this. Just before we go, what are your parting thoughts? What is an advice that you can give to somebody? What are your last words?
Yeah. I'm actually still hung on the question that you asked me at the beginning, about social media. And for me, I cannot stress it enough because, sometimes we work with brands that are afraid of change. We work with people that are afraid of, they're so used to one way of doing things that they fear change.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would like to encourage someone today is that, or just advise someone today is that, believe in your brand enough to make the right decisions for your brand,
Yeah.
And you need to understand that we live in a digital era, and in a digital era, you need to to basically keep in touch with us through social media.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Hmm.
90% of young people, they are always on social media. And like I say, that I believe in brands that are always ready to capture human hearts,
Mm,
and I believe that the hearts that we should be capturing as brands, it's young people's hearts,
mm,
create strategies that are going to, benefit young people and, that young people can actually connect with,
mm,
so my advice would be that, don't be afraid of change,
mm-hmm,
don't be afraid of change.
mm,
If you have to introduce something today, of course, introduce it, go for it.
mm, mm, mm. Fantastic. Thank you so much, my brother. We really appreciate all that, your inputs and your advices. We really,
Yeah,
it was awesome to have you. Like I said, we'll definitely have a session two of this. And I hope somebody also learned something and grabbed something out of this. So we're going to
don't worry,
learn.
by that time I would have gymmed, I would have gymmed on knowledge. So yeah, thanks a
No,
lot.
it's good, man. Thank you so much. And that's it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, cheers. Thank you guys for really joining us tonight. It was really awesome, and we appreciate those of you who have joined you. We've seen your comments, we've seen your interactions, and I hope and believe that we will continue to be in touch. And like I said, we are an IT and branding company. We provide solutions. Whatever that works, gives you a solution. That's what we provide. So you can check our website. You can also be in touch with us to see the services that we have and the more stuff that we do. Thank you very much, guys, and we appreciate. And that's it from me. Have a great evening.